Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Baka.
What's up, guys?
So,
It's been 2 weeks again. I feel like we keep having like these long distances in between sometimes. It's weird.
last week when it was a holiday, we kind of didn't, put that one in the way.
Also keep in mind it's been 2 weeks and there's like 6 articles, so it's like not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, I mean
The gaming world is like dead. Like, I mean, like all of these companies are like, hey,
playing Elden Ring.
still.
Like, there's like the whole thing is just kind of really gone bust. I mean, really, like you get like all of these companies are just kind of doing their own thing now. It does not feel like an entire industry now. It just feels like everyone's just
I
just
think
doing
it's
their
not
thing.
that it doesn't feel like an entire industry. It's that it's so much now that nothing is truly special for the most part. So it's like games come out every day. They have a boatload of these indie games that are really good and some that aren't and things like that. And like the major games that come out, everybody's skeptical of because they're major games and they have big budgets, but they're always bad. So
yeah, it's pretty much like we've
Weird
been
state of the
sitting through
industry.
this cycle constantly, and I mean E3's gone, so no one's really holding back anymore, and like everyone's just kind of like, hey, Ubisoft just recently was like, hey, that game that we were Project Q, yeah, we're still working on it. Here's another trailer. We're officially announcing it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently there were
Cool.
leaks about that, but I don't remember hearing about it. So
Also, there are rumors going around that Ubisoft is in deep shit and is looking to get bought. So we'll see who has the money for that one. If I had to guess, THQ Nordic will probably be the one to pick them up.
Well, them and Microsoft are the two with the most amount of money.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm thinking Microsoft we just spent a shit ton of money on like a hellhole that we've got to revamp. So
yeah.
let's let the other hellhole be bought by somebody else.
I think Sony. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sony tried to pick them up and do first party exclusives.
First party
of their
Assassin's
stuff.
Creed.
Yeah, I mean,
it wouldn't be bad if they would do it on PC too. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. But you're gonna have so many people that are gonna bitch about that part of it because Sony doesn't put anything on PC. Where
or
Xbox,
they do, but it's like a
everything's on
year
PC.
later.
Yeah, that's true. They've started.
Yeah, they've started doing it. It's like here and there and year or years later. Like with Uncharted, they released the Uncharted Collection thingy, and it was 4 and the spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why would you not re-release the Nathan Drake collection?
The only thing I can think on that one is that they're trying to completely remaster that one. Like I
Maybe.
do like a revamp of it of some sort. That's the only thing I could come up with. Where the other two games were PS4, easily could be moved over into a better graphic situation where the original Uncharted games were just remastered a little bit and stuck together to be put on PS4. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. I'm holding out hope. That one.
I mean, I don't know how much hope I'd hold out, but
Maybe, but I mean, we did that article wasn't too long ago, I guess 6 months ago, 8 months ago, when Naughty Dog's like, and we're going to do another Last of Us reboot, or not reboot, but remaster because we don't have anything else to do. And it's like, you have a whole series over here that you could be working on, but whatever.
Yeah, they're rebuilding it from the ground up because they were bored. It's like, you what? Oh, okay.
Okay, must be nice to be bored. I don't know what to tell you on that one.
Yeah.
Where's
I
The
still
Last
haven't
of Us
played
3?
the second Last of Us. I guess I need to do that at some point.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe this fall. We'll see.
I mean, I got Elden Ring on the docket for this fall.
Make our
One of you
future
does
plans.
Uncharted. I mean, one of you does Last of Us 2, and the other does Elden Ring.
I mean, I've got Ghost of Tsushima 2 in what's this year? 2022, 2024. Calling it now.
Is that real?
Yeah, actually, another article that I didn't put on here is that the company that made Ghost of Tsushima said, thank you for all the support. We're done. Like, they just released the final patch. They're done with Ghost of Tsushima. They've already started on their sequel, and they after this patch, they're just done. They're full focused onto the next game.
Oh, okay.
So
then.
thanks for your love. Appreciate it. We've supported the game hardcore. This is it. Moving on.
It makes you wonder if it's gonna be similar to Assassin's Creed, where they can have those little bit of shared assets to just move on to the next level and do it quickly.
Probably. Well, as long,
like-
as long as it's not too quick.
Yeah. Like give
Well,
me
I don't
another
want
part
the
of feudal
Ubisoft
Japan.
quick. I want like a
Yeah.
Sony game quick.
I mean, when did Ghost of Tsushima come out? 2019.
Is it 2020 or 2019?
I think it was.
I feel like 2020.
No, it was
I thought
2020. It
I
was
don't
2020.
know.
July 17th of 2020.
There you go.
So 4 years of development time, and especially if they just reuse assets and whatnot,
Yep.
it'll be a little easier.
We'll see. We'll see. I like that we jumped straight into discussion. We didn't even talk about what we played this week. Or these past 2 weeks, I guess.
Past 2 weeks, because the answers are always the same right now.
Always the same. We are so boring. I'm sorry, but we are so boring.
I feel like we need to do, instead of going, what have you played this week? Is go, what did you wish you had played this week?
What did you play differently this week?
There you go.
Nothing. All right, on to the next person.
Anything exciting happened with the games we all played? Because I know I played Icarus. No,
We played Left 4 Dead and we were still struggling with like things crashing. I had my first set of crashes last night, and I think it's because I changed the mod for my uncommon infected. So I was like, well, okay, it was a bunch of anime characters, and then I was like, okay, well, if that doesn't work, I changed them, and so they're the animatronics from the original Five Nights at Freddy's. So it's not creepy at all.
she won't play Five Nights, but she'll change the zombies in a game to the Five Nights game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We went back and played
She makes
Reach.
sense.
Yeah, Chicken and I played Halo Reach, which is still so good. Like, if
That-
you've never
that
played that
game-
game,
That game, so good.
that game is so good.
Yes, like games like that and the movie Rogue One, in my opinion, are like peak cinema, because you have to make it so that you are invested, even if you know the end, that you get hardcore invested through the story, so that when you know the end is coming, you feel what they want you to feel either way. Like you saw it coming, but you still feel awful for the way it ended. Like you
Yeah,
have to
I
be
would
good at
agree
that
with that.
storytelling. Like you have to. Yeah, I mean, you know what's happening at the end of Reach, but when you get there, it's like, oh God, you're still ripping my heart out. I was expecting it, but still it hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or you could be completely oblivious like people were with the Titanic movie.
Oh, it.
Yeah, I don't know how you
Yeah.
go into that not knowing what's gonna happen.
I mean,
I don't either, but there were people that had no clue.
Ugh.
I mean,
What a
I've actually,
surprise.
after we finished it, I saw a bunch of people post on Reddit that they like, oh, I finally played Reach and the ending really got me. I didn't see it coming, and it's like, brah, the fall of
you know?
Reach. You know, that's
But
like,
do you think it's that last scene that kind of gets you? Because if you think of all the other Halo movies or games, you're moving on to the next game, right?
Yeah.
And we
Yes.
know, based on how Reach is set up, that what happens on the planet. But as a character, we always move on with, right?
yes,
Like our character, no matter what happens in the game, our character moves on. So in this case, you are the end of the game, and you're
Yes.
the end of the storyline. So it's. And I'm sorry if I just spoiled it for anybody that's
I
haven't
don't
played
even
the
know
game.
how old Reach
it's
is. It's been-
12 years old.
Okay, yeah, you probably had plenty of time, but
We've talked about it before.
Yeah, but I don't disagree. I think that that's with Reach. It goes back to what I say about certain games. In movies and things like that. And it's like when I talk about it and I'll say that type thing. It's one of those. It's not my favorite of the series by any means, but it's still a donut at the end of the day. I love donuts, and that's still a donut. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like saying it's the worst donut in the box. Guess what? It's still a fucking donut.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like I still enjoy every one of these fucking donuts, but you know,
Yep.
whatever.
It's like, do you want a chocolate one? Are there any other ones that are there? You know, it's like, I'll take the chocolate.
I wish I could find that thing that I sent you, Griff. Remember how like it had a list of all of Noble Team and how they
oh yeah,
spoiler how they died, where every single person in Noble Team's death was synonymous with what they were. Carter, the captain, went down with the ship. Kat,
Oh.
the brain, was shot through the head.
Yeah.
And every one of them, Emil, the the shotgun. I can't remember what they did for him, but George, the heavy gun blew up. Like June, the sniper disappeared. Noble 6, the lone wolf, died as the lone wolf.
Yeah.
Like it's
That
so
was neat.
artistic how they did that. The game is a masterpiece in my opinion for video games. Like it may not be the best Halo game, but Halo is an incredible series. Well,
Also-
it was an incredible series.
Chicken and I have also been playing Firefight together because it's a fun, like, cooperative but competitive style to play, where it's like, you don't have to fight each other necessarily, but it does keep track of individual scores, so you're kind of,
you got a scoreboard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best 2 out of 3 last night I won, so I'm just saying.
Oh, you're gonna start getting competitive again.
I don't know if you met your wife or not, but she's a little bit competitive.
Yeah, she cheats too. Just saying.
I did not.
Just
I
saying.
don't. I'm not
Just
the one
saying.
that got the
How do you
target,
cheat
the
at that? This
painter
isn't
thing
cards.
that
What is
blows
this?
up everything in the area.
Hey, that's just an ordinance.
Yeah, I mean,
If you
but
didn't, you could turn them off.
I should.
That's what I thought.
I should turn them off.
That's what I thought.
That's good though to kind of go back to the old games. You know what I mean? Like just like something like that. And y'all are playing on the 360 also.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. We're playing classic style.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've got the 360 here, but I don't know if any of the controllers I have still work on it.
I
have
think
to look and
only
see.
2 of ours still work. We have like a bunch just around the house, but I think only 2 of them actually work, and it's the 2 that we've been playing with. So,
That's awesome.
kicking it old. It's weird to think kicking it old school means Xbox 360 instead of like the original NES. Not that that would
Right.
not also be old school, but just that you can say old school and mean something that is that.
There's old
recent.
old school is just like eventually after something becomes too far back, you just kind of lump it into the old school category. Like Xbox 360, the Nintendo, like all of that's all old school at this point.
I think it's part of the reason that I like the fact that when they introduced backwards compatibility for the Xbox One, it gave you that option to be able to play those games that were there. And I still have my other. I can move the 360 for those of us that are a little bit more frugal. You could take the 360, move it to a different room that it was in, and it's like, oh, now I can game from more than one room. That type of theory, thought processing. Where like when you went from the OG to 360 is fine, but they weren't compatible with each other. Like the disc could move, but you couldn't. There was no like. From what I can remember, if I'm playing the same game on a 360 and you're playing it on it, I don't think that they communicated with each other. If I remember right. I know the Xbox One and the 360 could communicate because you're running an emulator of 360 on the Xbox One. So gives you that availability, but I can't remember for sure. But where PlayStation's just like backwards compatibility, what's that?
Yeah. We never
Old
heard of it.
school.
Would you
We're
like to
not
buy
doing that
3,000 copies of The Last of Us because we keep remastering it?
I'll get another definitive edition of Tomb Raider at some point, I'm sure.
Probably. Probably. I can't think of anything else that, like, PlayStation is pretty guilty of, like, double and triple dipping on things like that. So I guess they're going to have to, at some point, remaster the Uncharted Collection so that they can put it on the PS5 and sell it to you for something. But I can't think of, outside of those big series, like, what else PlayStation really clones,
I don't know. That's a good question, because I think it's where, if you think about the system they're trying to set up now for their version of a Game Pass, they're doing that as well, because they're like, oh, you're gonna have to buy the good games, the ones that are just now coming out and all that. So what are you gonna do when you come out with a remake or whatever? You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna charge me $60 for a game that I already bought 2 generations ago, and you're gonna take it off of your Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
Where I can't play the older version of it.
Because then how would they make money,
Right?
I mean, you got to
I
give
don't know.
people what
Ask
they want to play,
Microsoft.
or else
They're
they're
really
just
doing it right.
Or they're just gonna start emulating things. Like, I mean, it's like when they took all the games off of Steam. It's like, man, why you make me go somewhere else? Just leave it here. Let me buy it. I'll still give you money, but just let me play where I want.
You mean
play
like when
it.
Rockstar took the GTA games off there because they were doing the remaster thing?
Didn't they fucking bring them back anyway?
I think they did because the remaster was kind of bad.
It's like, come over here and play. Oh shit, it doesn't work over here. Well, here, play it over there too.
Never mind. Go back to where you came from.
I did see it. I did have a video pop up on my YouTube this week, and it was for the PCXS, I think is what it is, which is our PCXS, which is an emulator for PlayStation, where you can actually run the disc. So like the older discs. So like if you wanted to do PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and you couldn't get it available anymore, then you would have that available to you. And it's open source, so you can download all it, and it runs ISOs as well. But the other thing it does, for certain games, you can actually upgrade the graphics a little bit. Because if you think of when PlayStation 2 first came out, you didn't have the standard LED screens and stuff that later became popular. So they didn't run exactly the same as they did on the older units. Right. So now when you put them on brand new, great looking monitors or TVs or whatever, they don't look as good. And so this is kind of to negate that a little bit, which I thought was. I guess there's one way to do it. This goes back to what Chicken said too. The best console out there is a PC in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. And to be fair, I do have that emulator too. I mean, emulators are completely legitimate to own. You can own any kind of emulator there is. The problem is that when it comes to getting the BIOS, that's the trademarked part that you cannot have, which I don't have.
Cough.
There was Chicken didn't put this in the articles, but I wanted to mention it anyway. There's a game that somebody is working on that is a multiplayer version of The Sims, essentially. It's called Viva Land, and they have a Steam page, and it says that it's set to release next year, but you can have like a whole neighborhood with your friends that they can create a household, or you guys can create houses together. Like one of the videos that they have up right now is like 3 people working on the same house, which I think might be a little chaotic, but they have the build mode up, and I'm going to keep an eye on it, because multiplayer version of The Sims sounds like fun to me.
Why is it taking this long for us to get that, is my question.
Because EA doesn't want to make it.
Okay, we've had it. It was the Sims Online.
I don't even
it existed.
Oh, now I got to look this up.
When was that?
It sounds familiar. It definitely sounds
years ago. Like when The Sims 1 first came out. And it got really popular.
2002.
They had a Sims Online.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
They did. And it was the same concept. You could go online. You got your own house. You controlled your sim. You could socialize with other people.
Yeah. I guess this is similar.
Yes,
but it shut down in 2008.
Well, it lasted 6 years.
They're building this game with multiplayer in mind first, and then making it a sim, and it's almost kind of like a metaverse in a sense is what they're trying to go with, because like you're not going to be able to buy land or anything with real money or NFTs or whatever, but you will be able to like go downtown and open up a business for your friends to come buy your stuff, or other people to come and shop at your stuff. Like it'll be more of a person maintained neighborhood / city. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's going to be like,
keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with it.
I will not be allowed to play it.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Chicken actually mentioned that if we had like our little group had our own neighborhood, you'd be the creepy neighbor. So
yeah, you'd be we would put you down towards the end of the block or the end of the cul-de-sac and just be like, stay down there, bro.
And it was called Viva. Oh, I see it now. Viva Land.
Yeah, Viva Land.
They do have a Twitter. You can check them out.
I didn't buy it. Are there going to be NPCs running around as well?
See, I don't know. I hope so, because it'd be weird if they all had to be... Because then if you were the only one on the server at the time, it's like just your Sims in a ghost town, essentially. Like, what do you do then?
So, I bet money they'll allow, like we do with Project Zomboid or Ark or anything like that. You load up the server, and then you can kind of run it.
Yeah.
You can make curved walls if you wanted to.
Yes, you can. You can also
That is cool.
customize all of your furniture as far as color and stuff goes, which is something that Sims 3 let you do, but then never again. And it's like, why? That's a cool thing. Why do you want to have preset colors and styles when I could be like, I want that couch, but I need it in purple instead of yellow, you know? Like,
Yeah, that just seems dumb.
I like the aspect too. Like I'm sitting here watching somebody build or whatever they're doing here for their demo, but I like that you build the walls and build everything the way you want it, and then you're going, and I think I want the door there, versus like having to have a separate thing that you have a door in and just move the door or whatever.
I saw in one of them, like when they were putting the furniture down, they put a bed down and then picked out which pillows, and I was like, oh, that's neat. Like, not what color are the pillows, like, seriously, which pillows do you want? Here are several. I was like, oh, okay, so everything is, like, pieces. It's not necessarily, like, a set piece. I wonder with stuff like that, because one of the things that I mentioned to Foxy, who is, of course, who I told about this, because we want to play together, I wonder what they're going to do as far as pathing goes for the little people, because some of the things in the Sims are the way they are is because of clipping and pathing and things like that for the actual Sims themselves. So I wonder how their AI is going to handle that. You know, like if I put the pillows in the middle of the bed, do the Sims move the pillows to get on the bed, or do they just clip through them and they lay on them anyway? Like, visually, what's that going to look like?
Their program, and I'll be honest, their program, since they're building it up, their mainframe or whatever you want to call it, is probably, their coding is probably going to be better, because I mean, I don't see a lot of improvement from Sims coding. Like, they just kind of keep adding and adding and adding, and that's always the problem when you just keep, like, slamming code into it.
What else do we need?
Yeah, like, you keep adding it instead of, like, making your engine run better. It's like, oh, let's just add more stuff, and you end up with spaghetti code where you lay on a bed and your fucking pillows just, like, fall
Fly into
through you. Yeah, it's like, all right, now, this is enough pasta. We're gonna move on from this.
Wow.
But one of
really
the videos in the game, they removed the ladder out of the swimming pool, and the little person freaked out.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you? You can't get out now.
So, yeah.
All I'm gonna say is I bet money that they're going to fix that. Like, you remove the ladder and they just swim over to the side and get out.
So the people like Baka can't be like, aha, I got you now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, well, I
He'll
can
still find a way to kill people.
I can still get out of the fucking thing.
I mean, I'm sure.
I moved past that, thank you. I just create a Sim Zoo.
Where he keeps them all alive-ish.
Entrapment.
Yes.
Is that better or worse?
But I mean, I guess if they can't get out of the pool without a ladder, you could do that. Like, make the pool essentially a moat around their little, like, one square area. Be like, ah-ha-ha.
You know, I want them to look at all the problems that Sims has and just kind of, like, code in fixes to where you try to fuck with them and the Sims are just like,
no.
I'm just gonna swim through the water and climb out the other side. It's not that hard.
You see the search engine history at whoever this developer is, and it's like how to kill Sim with, and then it's like all the listings.
I wonder if some of the original developers from Maxis are working on this.
Maybe. I mean, that is very possible. I don't know who the developers are.
And for people who try to trap them in rooms, I just want the little Sim person to walk around the room and be like confused that they can't get out, and then snap their fingers and teleport to a different room and be like, I mean,
and then give
the world
middle
works.
finger and keep on walking. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Just be like, deuces. I'm gonna keep going. Good luck.
Or you trap them inside of a room, but you leave a window and they dive through the window, like do different
they
stuff.
Just like Kool-Aid man through a wall.
I want the Sims to be able to just like laugh at you instead of the like, look at the little. How the fuck did he get out? What the fuck? Like they're AI now, like that your Sims are developing like an actual sentience against you, and you're like, well, this ain't cool anymore. This ain't cool. Who's playing who here?
Oh man, I think that's all the stuff that we played. And things.
Played some Phasmo, Left 4 Dead.
Oh, we played the Easter update for Phasmo when it was out, and I don't know why. because the Easter update literally just put Easter eggs on the map that you could collect and eat, and if you collected all 100 per map, you got your sanity refilled or something like that.
100 per map?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
there was not 100 per map.
I thought you said it was 100.
No, it was 100% sanity.
Oh, well, I misunderstood.
Jesus, fuck. Oh my god, that's a lot of eggs. First of all, the egg
I was
sound.
thinking, how many eggs would you be
Yeah,
looking for?
Every time you pick one up, it's a chocolate egg, so you eat it, and your character made an eating sound. It was just,
I'm not
it
gonna
was
make the
so
eating
funny.
sound.
It was so funny. Like, completely changed the dynamic of the game. I was in the house, and I was like, I don't care about the ghost right now. I need to see where all of the eggs are.
So if one person eats it, does it count for the group?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It
They
was
did some
fun.
layout changes and things like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah, they changed
it's
the
nice.
roadhouse. They changed the
They
way
changed
it was set up.
Tanglewood too. They redirected the.
We
the
didn't
laundry
play
room.
Tanglewood. I didn't get to see it. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Never mind. I
I was
saw
gonna
it.
say they redirected the thing and moved some of the
Yeah.
light switches and things like that. Yeah.
But then the
Is it-
Easter update didn't last long, so
No.
it was sad. I want it back. It was
The
fun to
ghost
just go
can
looking
make
for
red
them.
light now.
What?
Yeah, the ghost can make red light now.
Oh yeah, it
Yes.
changed one of the lamps.
They were able to like change the light bulbs and make it glow red and then pop, but now they could just turn lights red.
I
And
did
then turn
not
them
see
cool.
it, but it definitely freaked out Red for sure.
It scared the shit out of me because I was standing looking this way, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw something red glaring on the wall, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And the light turned off instantly, and I was like, "The fuck? The fuck?" Okay. Because
that's great.
he puts in changes and adds things that the ghost can do and does not tell anybody. He does not add it to the patch notes.
He shouldn't.
Yeah.
He just
shouldn't
says
tell you
added new
necessarily.
interactions.
Like if it's a
It's-
little fix of some sort or something that's but like little
Yeah.
things like that that are just kind of there to for atmosphere or quality of life or something like that. That's fine with me not telling you. You
Yeah.
know,
Yes, it's like perfect. More ghost interactions. Good luck finding them. It's like, okay, what can the ghost do now?
There was an update. What does it mean? What does it mean?
I want it to be to where like you go up to a door and try to get it loose or whatever, and like the doorknob comes off into your hand,
Oh
Oh
no.
my god.
No,
and
none
your
of that.
person reacts accordingly.
None of that.
I bet that'll be a hallucination later. Like, cause it's gonna be horror 2.0, and he's completely revamping the entire horror aspect of it and adding so many different things to the actual fear part of the game. So hallucinations is one of the things that he's going to work on. So I mean, you can see lights flicker when your sanity gets low, or you'll see the ghost kind of like shadow somewhere and nobody else will see it, or a door will open and it actually didn't open, or you'll see a shadow or lights, like all sorts of crazy shit that you just like, am I seeing that? Or like, what's my sanity at? Am I losing my fucking mind here? Did anybody
know-
else see that?
One of the things that would add a little bit of a jump scare to it is you see the door open, because like it does it now when the ghost touches the door and it opens a little bit, but if it's a hallucination, to prevent your character model from just walking through the door because it's open towards them, but to as soon as they get up close to it, it slams in their face. They saw it, but nobody else saw or heard that slam,
Oh man.
because then the door would be closed again, so you'd have to actually open the door.
Audio cues too that only you can hear.
Ugh.
What does this
Oh my
sound?
god, it'd
I
be
don't
kind
hear
of
anything.
like in Green Hell if your sanity starts to drop, you start to hallucinate and other stuff, and like the other person's
Yeah.
going, "What's that? What's
What
that?"
are you doing?
Like
What is
in
what's going
that
on?
game, it would be nuts.
Yeah, it would.
What's that? I don't
Like
know.
it was bad enough in Green Hill. I couldn't imagine in a dark room somewhere, or he figures out a way to shade it just a little bit, so as your sanity starts to drop or whatever. Like if you've got 100% sanity and you walk into the room, it's well lit, everything's on there. But for somebody his sanity is lower, the lighting's actually off for them, so they're trying to flip the light switch to turn it back on.
You're
but
like,
it's not
"Stop it!
able to
Stop
go
touching
on,"
the light.
and it's just blinking for everybody else that can see it.
Stop it! The
Yes.
lights on. Go take the pills. Oh man, that'd be fun. I'm looking forward to his. I know they'll do a big update for Halloween. I'm kind of excited to see what that's.
Oh yeah,
gonna be like.
they showed the van revamp too.
Yeah, they changed the van around. So.
Looks clean as fuck. And that other Ghost game looks really fun too. Haven't bought it yet, just watched.
Midnight Ghost Hunt, I think.
Yeah, it's
is
the
what called.
4v4 Ghost PvP game. They look like they're pulling it off pretty well. I haven't bought it yet. When we buy it, we'll definitely fill in.
You let me know as soon as you buy it. I'm buying it.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
sitting in my
I'm-
wish list waiting for you guys.
I'm watching it closely because it looks good and it feels like it's pretty balanced too. So
Yeah, everything I've seen on is cool. I think I like the thing I like about that one is if you're a ghost, you can chill everybody, so you can make them like it slows them down a little bit. The hunters down. But what I also like is if they're able to capture you and die, you can just wander around and it's got proximity voice, and you can like whisper in their ear, "I'm over here." Oh, you just gotta
funny.
mess
I
with
didn't know
them
it
as
had
you go.
proximity voice, although that does make sense.
Yeah, like I'm excited. Like that game actually looks like it's got pretty good potential, and I like the the dynamic where it's like 4 minutes of prop hunt and 4 minutes of hunt.
Yeah.
So it's neat. I like it so far. I'm gonna kind of wait for a sale and see how the reviews go because it's still early access. I want to see where they go with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not bad either. Isn't it $20 or $15?
Yeah,
Something?
it's $20 right now if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Price wise, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But I
it's
like the
$20 right
concept
now.
Anyway. It's like Ghostbusters meets prop hunt. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems neat.
definitely.
We want to talk about the handful of news stuff.
Yeah, I'll talk
Sure.
about the one that I'll let y'all rant about a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Halo Infinite's co-op campaign is now being most likely coming out in August now, where before it was June. Isn't that what they originally said was going to be June?
I don't know. They keep
May or
changing
June.
it.
So it's now it looks like it's going to be August.
They said May. Forge and cooperative missions would not be available in May as they hoped. So.
Yep. And so Forge looks like it's going to be probably September.
No. The Forge open beta is going to be in September.
Okay, yeah, that's the open beta. Yeah, it's going to be in September. It's still Forge in September, even if they're calling it open beta, because anybody can play it.
Yeah, that's generic. Okay, first of all, that's small indie company words for we know it's broken and it doesn't work right, but we want you guys to help us fix it anyway.
Yeah, well, true. Break more things, please, so we can fix them.
Pretty much. It's like, we know this isn't going to work right, but here you go.
Which I know you all are big on the co-op part of, and a lot of other people are, the co-op part of playing Halo. Is this, I mean, Chicken, you've already played through the entire game. Griff, you were waiting for the co-op part of it. Is this going to keep you from playing the game at all if it waits until August, or is it going to be one of those things where you're just going to be like, oh, well, I still haven't played this yet. Like 3 years from now, you're going to be like, I
Yeah.
haven't played this yet. Can we play it? Or
I feel like that's probably how it's going to go. It's going to be one of those like, oh yeah, I forgot they finally did that thing. I guess we can play it.
And remember, it's not confirmed either. They're targeting August for
Yeah.
co-op, which I am still not holding my breath because the technical limitations of this game are far exceeding what they expected. Like, they were like, hey, cool, and it's like, oh shit, we can't do anything in this thing.
I am telling you right now, and it might be 10, 15 years from now, but I'm calling it now. Somebody in this department is going to come out. There's going to be like their whatever it is they signed that they can't talk about this shit is going to come out. And somebody's going to go, all right, dude one that was the director had zero vision for any of this shit and didn't think that people wanted co-op, didn't do this, didn't want to do that, even though we had this big giant world. And then the reason he got let go was because of this. So they brought Joseph in to do it. And then Microsoft goes, here's everything we need to throw in there, because otherwise we're going to have to scrap Halo altogether.
I do somewhat agree with that, but the one thing that everybody's just begging for that should have been is a base thing, mission select. How
100%.
in the fucking world do I beat the campaign and not be allowed to do any of the other missions? You're basically stuck in the game.
They did say they were going to work on that like right after the game was released. But
it's not even like it's still on the thing and they're still working on it, but they're like, we just don't see it coming anywhere. Like, you'll be able to play co-op and beat the game together, but you're not going to be able to do any of the missions again. Like, you're going to be able to run through it together.
But you have to start over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only got one option. It's run through the whole game, period. Like, there's no mission selects. It's just start at the beginning and go.
I don't know how much of that is, from the get-go it wasn't built into the base, or if it was one of those when they started building this open world format, it had to be scrapped. I'd be like,
that right
never
there
made
is
it
the
into
problem.
never made it into the room to start with, or if it was
Yeah.
in the room but it had to be scrapped type thing, right?
Yes.
because I know with development processes, there's things that get scrapped that they want to do and things like that. And
but it seems like everything got literally everything got scrapped except for the base.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Phil Spencer and Joseph got there on day one of Joseph's day and went in and looked at it and goes, "Man, can we just start over?" And Phil was like, "Nope, we gotta have to build with what we've got right here, man. We got to do what we got to do." Like, I would not be surprised whatsoever, because I don't want to know what this game was before. I really don't want to know what this game was before he got in there. It's, and he's taken his hits. I got to give him props, because like all of them are taking their hits, but they said, this is what we're focused on, this is what we're doing, and they're talking at least. To people versus
they said
quiet.
something in February, and then finally 2 months they're like, we're going to hit you back up next month, and then completely skipped March and finally said something towards the end of April.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I forgot they did do that. Yeah, I remember that part.
You gotta call bullshit when you get bullshit. Like, they were like, we're going to do
that. But they, for the most part, they're talking. They're No Man's Sky, we didn't hear from Hello Games for months.
That's true, and I will give them that they're trying, but I mean, 6 months a season, like, the player base is falling off. Like, this is definitely falling in a No Man's Sky kind of bust. Like, Halo Infinite is not really infinite. Like, you were
but it also, if that's the case, if this is like No Man's Sky, let's look on the bright side of that. If you go play No Man's Sky now, it's a pretty damn good game. So maybe we get the game that should have been released within a year. So we'll see.
True. I mean,
I'm guessing 4.
I give the same kind of angst towards Cyberpunk 2, where it came out and some people had a great experience, and other people just were completely bust. Hell, the whole generation of a version of the game was just gone. Like, they're like, well, this is so bad that we can't even sell it.
It's still strange to me, because that game, I'll say something after this too. That game was supposed to be part of the current generation at the time, PS4 and Xbox One. And this is what it was originally supposed to be released on. So you think it would have been built for that. But we were only 2 years or 3 years removed from when we were all bitching about the fact that games were being built for consoles and not being built for PCs. And that they were not getting the better versions on the PCs. You were getting still a console version on it. People were bitching about it. Now we've gone the other direction around.
Yeah,
and that's
I know.
what we get. But I think one of the things that somebody pointed out in... it was a video I was watching, and they were talking about why it's so difficult to make things for PC versus making things for console. And it says, because if you go down an entire street and you go look at everybody's gaming PC that plays games, right? They're all different. They have a different processor in them. They have a different graphics card, everything else. So they've got to make everything for it. But if you look at whatever console it is, whether it's PlayStation 5s, Xbox Series X, whatever it happens to be, and that's in person's house, then those specs don't change. So it allows them to be able to make for that. But because of all of our bitching, they're going back to making this shit for the PC, and plus they're having to try to make it for the other two. So we're going to end up with more issues because of that. But I never looked at it that way until he said that, I was like, you're right. It's a set thing. They know from the get-go this is what it's supposed to be in the box, which makes the Cyberpunk one stupid to me, because if they had given us one that worked on the previous generation but didn't look great on PC, there'd been a lot less bitching if it worked, because they could always improve the graphics later on.
You could always turn it up. I mean, hell, you could turn it down too. Like, it's easier to build for like a high-end PC and then just bring everything down. It's like, let's make everything look worse, and then it runs better.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because you look at games like Icarus, where if you put them on Epic, you've got tons of foliage and everything else that's in front of you. If you drop it down to even the middle level, whatever that one is for theirs, the middle level for theirs, some of the trees and stuff disappear from a distance. So it allows you to, they're figuring out ways to help out your graphics card, your processor, and all that type of thing.
Right.
And I think that's... you can't do that on a console. Maybe we need to.
I mean, consoles are becoming more and more like PCs, so...
I mean, maybe give an option of, I mean, because right now they do have the performance mode, like in the newer ones, you have performance mode or quality mode, which usually just means a frame rate or an RTX being turned on or off. So like if the RTX is on, then it's at 30 frames. If it's off, then it's at 60. Which I still don't understand how we have the newest generation and we're sitting at 60 for our highest and 30 for our low versus 60 for our low and 120 for our high, but that's a subject for another day. But I think that's this is dealing with Halo on this one is, it could be 2-3 years before we get the completed product that we wanted to start with. And I mean, I enjoyed it still. And if I picked it up today, I could go back through the campaign and enjoy it still.
I mean, that's all you could do. That's your only option.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can play it through multiplayer too, but I don't want to play the multiplayer. It's a sweat fest. And then now nobody plays it. So it's not even worth it. Well, wait, maybe I can win.
If nobody's playing, it'll be you and that one other dude that was like, I'll just check it out.
It's supposed to be a 4v4 and it's a 1v1.
Been there, done that.
Oh god.
There was another Microsoft article.
Yes.
Yeah, it leads into a Sony article. Microsoft is reportedly considering adding ads to free-to-play games.
I've
Sony
seen this thing swirling around too in lots of free-to-play markets over the last couple of years. It's kind of been dripped out. So now that Microsoft and Sony are kind of like, maybe we should do this. It's going to be the next generation of free-to-play games, just so you know. And I think it's terrible because, holy shit, if in World of Warcraft, you have your load screens, and in the load screen you have the fucking ad pop up that you can't skip. It's like, oh, you get 15-second ads, and then you have to wait. Sorry, guys, I can't load in right now. I'm watching my ads. Sorry, guys.
Gotta be on an hour before raid time to get your ad breaks done.
Or before every game of Apex, everybody in the round has to watch their fucking 45-second ad.
I mean, I think it'd be fine. Like, somebody in the comments mentioned if it was something like what Burnout Paradise did, which is in-game billboards as you're driving.
Hell yeah, do billboards.
Like, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, that's kind of what they're saying in here is it can't take away from the game experience.
Yeah.
Which I think that's the having one at the beginning to me is taking away from that game experience as well, right? But I also thought of how they do it on mobile games when you have a free to play mobile game. Let's say it's some type of card game or whatever you're playing. They'll have that 30-second ad. They'll add for another one between your games. Mm-hmm. That would be a major problem. Because imagine that you just finished whatever part of raid that you're in. You're going to go into the next section of that, and they're like, and 1 minute ad pops up on your screen. That would suck, right?
It would be so dumb.
Well,
but 1 minute ad, 30 seconds of gameplay.
Yeah. We got to add a whole other half an hour to raid time just so that we can make sure we get our 3 hours with 30 minutes of ad time.
But I'm just wondering at how far it, because like if I have said mobile game and it shows the 30 seconds, one of the ads that pops up too, hate the ads, buy the game.
But I own the game.
Hell, $2.99 for whatever, or $4.99 for whatever. I pay
monthly to play this motherfucker. I don't want to pay again.
Well, that's why right now they're looking at adding it to free to play. But I think that's opening a door. If it gets added to free to play and it's successful, I think eventually it could be added to paid games too. Which is like, if I've already paid for the actual game, please don't do this. Please don't show me ads. You're gonna ask me to buy DLC anyway, so why don't you just wait until that?
Yeah, but then they're going to start like putting in like nondescript ads in games eventually, where it's like, oh, this doesn't affect gameplay at all, like billboards and all of this stuff, or logos on fucking outfits and shit like that, like microtransactions and all sorts of shit. The moment, I'm telling you now, again, like back in Fable, when Fable 3 first came out and they cut content out and to sell it back to you, this is the next generation where once they figure out a way to drip ads into even paid games, that's going to be the next that's going to be the next way to make money for, like, you're going to have fucking Coca-Cola logo on your Sea of Thieves ship.
They tried to do that with Guitar Hero years ago.
Yeah,
the banners and stuff that
the
were on the
banner
side.
ads.
And it wasn't bad. like they were able to do it. And it wasn't too bad, but it was, oh my God, it was controversial at the time because people were like, well, you're putting ads in the thing or whatever. And it's like, it's not bad because if you go to a real concert, you're going to see some of that stuff anyway. It's just, this was more towards gamers, versus, a Mountain Dew ad or something.
Yeah.
Dude, we spend enough time around ads. We don't want to see any more, God damn it.
Well, people got to sell shit, man.
Yeah.
Everything has ads.
That's why we were playing games, so we didn't have to see the ads.
Fuck, this is why we pirate shit. We pirates now.
Yarg.
Yarg, motherfucker.
You said that led into the Sony one. What is Sony talking about?
Sony is also reportedly trying to do the same thing.
Oh, it's the same thing. I thought it was the same article. I didn't even realize that one had the PlayStation logo.
Yep.
Oops.
Yep.
Okay, so they're both doing it. Nintendo's like, we're gonna wait.
Dude, their shit costs so much and never goes on sale anyway. They're not worried about it. Hell, they barely have any free-to-play games anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess free to play would be third party as well, right? So stuff like Fortnite, Apex, which they do have on Nintendo as well. So, I still have yet to see somebody play Apex on Nintendo. I kind of want to. I'm not gonna try it because I feel like it would explode. But, yeah, I don't. I guess you got the banners and stuff that are hanging on the inside of Apex, like where they have like the Apex banners, and then like whoever's the champion or whatever, it'll show their profile picture or something like that.
And it's a perfect placement for ads too. Like there'll be like 30-second ads up there.
That. And Fortnite, the only thing I can think of with it would be like certain shacks have TVs in them.
Sponsored by State Farm. Good kill.
Right? Like I don't.
First place was sponsored by.
Or you get in one of the vehicles
this week.
You get in one of the vehicles because you can get in like the cars or whatever music plays when you're doing it. Which, by the way, it does not matter if you turn the music off in the game; it still plays.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, same thing if somebody does one of their little dance emoji.
Can't mute these ads.
No, you can't get them.
Please
That's the thing is you get in and as you're driving, right? It's a car insurance commercial, right? While you're driving, think about it. Over time, you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna happen. You just set it up the right way, and you got those ads.
We'll see what happens. I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll see because I'm sure they're gonna try it at some point. So.
Oh yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
definitely.
yes.
Definitely. What else we got?
Eventually, we're gonna have ads within our ads.
Would you like to skip this 2.5-minute ad and watch 30-second ads instead?
No.
What? What? No.
I don't want to watch any ads.
Would you like to
But what
pay
was it-
$15.95 an hour to skip all these ads?
An hour. Holy shit.
What the fuck? No.
Hulu used to have it. Hulu used to have that, right? With the 2-minute thing, it was like no. If you watch this one for 2 minutes, you don't have any ads the rest of the time, right?
It's if you. Also, I'm probably the reason that they changed that. It was if you interact with this ad, you can skip your normal commercial breaks, which I would, and because I figured out the algorithm, you could refresh the page constantly until you got one of those to pop up, and then you could watch the whole show without ads. And I would just do it over and over again, and it was pretty consistent that you could get one and just watch the whole show, like an hour show, without getting any ads. And I'm pretty sure they were just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He just keeps refreshing over and over again.
Well, what they probably figured out was because it messed up their end of it where this person, whatever the ad was, right? It kind of screwed up because nobody was clicking on it. They weren't getting any sales. So they either lost that business or something. So they were like, okay, we got to do something with it. In more news, well, a little bit more details have come out about Saints Row, the new trailer coming out showing customizations. Griff, this is a game you're looking forward to. So what'd you think of the customizations that are available?
That's a lot of stuff that they say I can do, and I want to see in game what I can really do, because like stuff like you can customize your teeth, and it's like, okay, I'm not one that's looking to have candy corn fangs, so I kind of just want to see what I can do with it once I'm in there. because I don't.
I might.
Yeah, Baka and I make very drastically different characters. He's like, how can I fuck this guy up? And I'm like, how can I make somebody that looks believable and that I think is pretty badass? Like, he's running around with a giant Hulk green guy in Uncle Sam's outfit, or Uncle Sam outfit with the modulated scary voice, and I'm over here like, my guy looks like, you know,
Don't forget the British accent.
Yes, with a British accent. Like, I think Baka's gonna get a lot more use out of the weird side of this stuff than I will, but I think that it's really great that it's in there. One of the skin options is like this space skin, and that's neat. Like, it's not one that I will use, but it's really neat. I think that's gonna be super popular. Being able to customize all of your cars and guns and everything. It says that we're basically, and see, I keep saying it like says, because that's what Cyberpunk told me I'd get to do too, and I know how that went down. So
never forgetting.
Yeah, so I want to be cautiously optimistic, but the caution is still warranted for sure.
Oh yes, for everything these days.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. The like one of the things they have is almost a mask over whatever weapon it is. So like you could even make a gun that looks like an umbrella. They have one, I think that's a guitar case, basically bazooka.
Yeah.
Different stuff like that. It's just like that's awesome.
I mean, they've given some options very similar to that in the previous games. But it was, instead of it can be anything, it was like, here's 2 options for it to look techno, here's 2 options for it to look silly, here's 2 options for it to look cool, you know, kind of deal. Or pick your color. And it looks like they have a lot of that pick your color thing, so I'm kind of curious the extent that I'll be able to mix and match. I also hope, and I realized this as I was looking at the article and everything, I kind of hope they're saving some of the really wacky stuff for, like, actual launch, because looking at the weapons they showed to customize, there was only one that was like, oh look, that looks like fun, and it fires out like a piñata that explodes. So I'm hoping...
I have a feeling they're holding back, because I felt the exact same way watching that. I was like, a lot of this stuff looks pretty atypical.
Pretty tame,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, where's all the funky
where's
shit,
my
man?
dubstep gun?
Yeah, where's my dubstep gun? Where's my, you know, like, Saints Row 4 had, like, a toilet plunger launcher thing that was fun to play with, and...
It's like, where my guns at, yo?
Yeah, where's the fun stuff? I hope they're hiding it for now. Because they showed some of the fun stuff, like the cars, like Oak mentioned, there's a pirate ship car option that was in the article and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to that one.
Yeah. I mean, it says there's like 80-something cars to collect and you can customize them any way you want. Like, honestly, for me, that's kind of one of those things where I'm like, okay, cool. I'm more interested in what kind of wacky weapons I can have.
I will say I'm impressed at their ability to be able to reboot the series after 4, though. Like, you go from that extreme superhero style back to Earth.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about it too. Like, we were like, they're gonna have to reboot the series. Like, you went so far into space, literally, that you've got to do something wild to bring it back down to Earth, literally. So.
They did a really good job. Like, I think what they did, I never played 1 and 2. My first was 3. And
3 was my first one, and then I played 4. I played 1 and 2 after. I played 2 afterwards. I tried 1 back when it was new, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, well, what I liked about 3, like the intro into 3, was just kind of like a little crazy. We got a little bit of stuff going on, and then as you played through the game, it got a little more wackier and wackier and wackier. And 4 is like, we're still starting you off very wacky. There's going to be some crazy shit happen. You're in for a ride.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I really like what they did with it, where, you know, it's like, okay, what are they going to give us to start with this? And based on the shots they're showing, you still got the wacky, but it feels like they're doing that slow start again.
Yeah.
And just kind of
we
moving
gotta
your way
start
through.
slow, or else it's gonna get real out there too fast.
Yeah, you gotta. They just gotta make sure they keep it grounded to, like, they gotta balance it, grounded to wacky. Like, make sure you've still got, like, you know, a good story and lots of fun, just fucking ridiculous gameplay, but kind of give some good progression with it too. Because I mean, you gotta
no
make
crazy superpowers.
I mean, maybe like 1.
Not really.
No, I would stick with the guns and everything, but yeah, apparently in this
I was about to say, like, when they got to the point where it was like, well, you can just run really fast and jump and fly through the entire city.
You didn't need the cars?
Yeah.
You didn't need the cars. You didn't need the gun. You didn't need anything at all in that game at all,
You
except
still
for the
need
superpowers.
I would argue that you do still need the gun because your superpowers have a cooldown. So you do still need some sort of weapon. But I mean, I liked that in Saints 4 they changed it so that you were traveling differently. But I think that also comes from somebody that struggles with driving. So being able to jump
Fair.
off of a building and glide through the city instead of having to like try to stay on the road and not blow myself up, it was nice.
They're still gliding in it though.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, they've had the wingsuit forever. I think that one was in 2, I want to say. I know you had one in 3 and 4, so... Well, 4 you
I would
didn't
like
need
to
the
mention,
wingsuit.
too, that GTA 5 and Saints Row 4 came out the same year.
And GTA 5 still just chugging along.
Yep.
Yep.
And meanwhile, we're like, okay, we're getting really close
Isn't
to
it
the new
getting a
Saints Row.
remaster again? Another GTA 5 remaster or something?
Yeah. Well, they just did. They just released one for the new consoles.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
They just did it, which GTA had. I mean, not GTA. Saints Row 4 had, I think, 2. They did one that was it with all the DLC. Like, I think when Xbox One, PlayStation 4 first came out, because I want to say that Saints Row 4 was originally on 360
yes, it
and
was.
PS3, and then they did one for that, and then they did like a remaster version of it later on, I think.
Yeah, with like the Get Out of Hell and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, August 23rd. Looking forward to it. Well,
Awesome.
assuming that it stays on August 23rd. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, they've already pushed it back once, and
Yeah.
they're not afraid to push it back again. So
It comes out August 23rd, and maybe you can play co-op Halo the same time.
Oh. Let me tell you
Doubt
which
it.
one I'm going to prioritize.
I am not. I will be surprised if they do co-op. I will be even more shocked if Forge's open beta is in September.
Fair. So one of the things we've been covering, we've got to talk about it just a little bit, of course, is the Activision Blizzard lawsuit that's currently going on right now. It appears as though the California governor might be trying to hold that back due to the fact that the Activision Blizzard has a little bit of influence because they got monies.
Well,
Yeah, lots of monies.
shocking. Money
Yeah.
buys you power.
So he actually, the Department of Fair Employment, he actually fired the person that was in charge, and then the chief counsel actually resigned after that firing because the governor was wanting to know, basically before even the courts would know, on what was happening behind the scenes, which it's just shady. That's shady. And I'm one of those people that I look at it this way. I don't give a crap about political parties. Nothing about that. I don't care how much money you have. At the end of the day, wrong is wrong. And
Right.
so if somebody does something wrong and it's against the law, they should, either repent and say, yes, we did something wrong, figure it out, and then take your punishment at, like, a good human should. Or
Money pays for no punishment.
there you go. So, and then, or you turn around and, just, it's just, you've got to follow the law, and they're not following the law. And if governor's not doing this, guess what? You're talking about a guy that not too long ago just had to have a special election that he barely won.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, guys. Yeah, it's just, it looks shady. That's kind of what's going on. The rest of the article's really about what's been happening over however long, Microsoft's purchasing them and blah, 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 all that crap. This just needs to be June 2023 already, basically. I don't want it to be that fast to June 2023 because, one, your kid will be older than I want them to be, and
I
my two
know.
kids will be older than I want them to be. But I just need the purchase to happen, get it taken care of, and Microsoft to clean house, and then we're done with it type thing. Microsoft
Oh,
just go,
shit.
look, how much money do we need? Like, is 300 million okay for to 500 million, a billion? What do we need to do to make, to take care of these people?
Right.
And just leave it there. Not that I think that they are, the best people, but I think that they're going to try to handle this as best they can. I feel like Phil's a good person.
We'll see.
Or maybe that's just the image he puts out there. I don't know.
We'll see.
But I feel like he's a good And our last article that we got here, Gearbox has announced that they are making a new Tales from the Borderland that's supposed to be out this year. The last Borderlands, and correct me if I'm wrong, because if you played through this, it followed characters we already knew.
It included characters we already knew, but the two main characters were new characters. I think realistically, because that was a Telltale game, and they included at least one of the characters from that in the Borderlands 3, I think that they're just they want to use it to tell new stories about new characters, so that it's gonna be like I guess an anthology series now, probably, where every one of them will be new people, just in the same world. So
right.
I don't know. I have a hard time with Gearbox, mostly because Randy Pitchford's in charge, and I cannot find anything redeeming about him.
Yeah, the thing that kills me is the article calls it a colorful CEO, and I'm like,
it's an interesting terminology, but
yeah, and for those that aren't aware of, I hate the man anyway because he's a dick, but I hate him even more because he bought the Magic Castle in California.
Yeah.
And the magic, he got married there. So I'll give him props. At least, he's studied the art. You have to be part of the academy to even be a member there. But it bothers me to no end because he purchased it. They've been having a lot of issues lately there, because of some supposed inappropriate things that have happened there. So it was going to be sold off anyway, but I just don't like the fact that that's the guy, the guy that left porn on a freaking on a jump drive somewhere, is the guy that's purchasing it. I'm not a fan of him at all, and that just makes it worse. But I'm hopeful for people that are Borderlands games fans, like No Pants. No Pants hated. Well, he didn't hate 3, but he thought it could have been better. He's enjoying the new Winterland one, and
I've heard a lot of good things about the Winterland.
Yeah, he said it's kind of. It feels like that they did some of the things they were trying to do with Borderlands 3, and they added that in, but then it's got a true Borderlands feel to it. But it also has a difference too because of the theme. So I'm interested to see what ends up happening with this, because it wasn't too long ago that he said he wasn't going to do anything with the games anymore, that he was now in the movie business.
But yeah, and
don't worry, when his movie busts, he'll come back to games.
Oh, he's already back. He's the one that's talking about this one.
He just likes to talk about shit. Like that dude loves to listen to his voice. I bet money every morning he gets up, he just talks to himself in the mirror and like is late for work all the time.
You know how to get Randy Pitchford to stop talking about video games?
Ugh.
Ask him about himself.
Oh, I was gonna be like, make him talk about something else. Himself? Yep, that's the best.
Ask him about himself. There's nobody that loves Randy Pitchford more than Randy Pitchford. 100%. 100%. All right. Anything else, guys?
I guess not.
That was a fun show for ones that we didn't even have to talk about games that we played. Nothing. We just talked about all types of stuff. I kind of like the idea though. And people leave comments down below. Make sure you hit that sub button. But I kind of like the idea of having maybe a game that we're interested in, and we talk about that, because like the Viva Land thing, it was kind of neat to have like a conversation about it. One that one of us might have been interested in type deal.
Kind of like we mentioned, sometimes it's hard to get interested in or excited for a lot of them. But,
yeah. But at least that way we kind of get involved with it. So
90% of the time it's going to be like an indie game or something that's like off the beaten path. I guess it's like the indie spotlight. Like, what game have you seen this week, or have you seen a new game in the spotlight this week, or what?
Yeah, and then we kind of talk about it. I like the idea behind that. I really do.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, it's a lot more interesting than just literally saying the same games that we've played every single week. Single week.
I'm actually looking at No Pants sitting in my Steam chat, my stream chat right now. That means he's playing Icarus. I know what it means.
What are you doing?
Like,
playing this
that should tell you how often we play. But yeah, just let us know down below, or let us know in the Discord, one or the other. But we do appreciate everybody who hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oak Tree. Check out Griff.
At Griff Slynam.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Check out Baka.
Baka Pickle.
So make sure you go to Griff's YouTube channel. There's games. Go on there. Hit the button that says the subby
I'm sorry.
at the bottom, and then the one with the little bell, and you hit that, and then it sends you the information when it gets out there. Try. You're not going to be able to, but try.
Good luck
To beat this man right here.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to beat him.
Dude, it goes to my phone. Like, it's within seconds, too. Because, I mean...
It goes to everybody's phone if you
yeah,
but little
there's zero latency. It's literally from right over there to right here. It goes through our router and straight to my phone. And then I just go scroll, click, like, done. And then I watch it.
There you go. Yes, make sure you hit the like button before you watch. That's the better way to go, too. Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313. Where Chicken at one point in time will be streaming again, but this is busy season as it is for most of us that live in the South. This is our busy season, so he'll get there. But when he does, you need to be ready. You got to do your job. You hit the follow button on Twitch, and then when he goes live, most likely during the fall, but when he goes live, then you'll be ready to watch him play Elden Ring or whatever it is he's going to be playing at the time. So, and since Elden Ring was supposed to take 30 hours and most people's taking 80 to 100, there's no telling how long he's going to take.
I'm going to proceed to smash with Big Hammer.
Smeesh.
Smeesh. Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/MDB Oak Tree. You check me out 4 days a week, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday, where I'll be playing Icarus and a Sea of Thieves. I got to do the new Sea of Thieves update because it looks fantastic, but I didn't get to play it because I got off a lot later than I planned on Friday night, so I did not stream. So,
oops.
Yeah, it happens. It's busy season, so it is what it is. Griffin to Respawn. I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Bucket.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.